school bang. I think I'm gonna go live. I think I'm going live. I think I'm going live. I think I've just got a hunch, but I think I might be live. So I'm gonna do the thing I always do to check. Go on my phone, go on YouTube to check if you can hear me alright. Fingers crossed it actually shows up on YouTube. Yeah, there I am. Give me a sec. Just gonna make sure you guys can hear me okay. Yep, you guys can hear me alright. It sounds like the sound bars are all good. And yeah, just double check everything going fine. Everything is fine for the stream today. Now, only gonna be a short stream today because I have to actually go out a bit later and go and watching the new M. Night Shyamalan film Old about 2 o'clock today. So I'm gonna go out in a bit. So it's only gonna be a short stream today. But nevertheless, I've got one thing to talk about because it was released yesterday, and that is the new trailer for Dune. I am very excited for the movie, and that is what I'm talking about today. I'm gonna talk my opinion on the new trailer and my opinion on all the stuff that we've been released about Dune so far. By the way, I don't think I've actually got... That's not an official post, by the way, for Dune. I don't think it is. I think it's a concept poster, but, you know, same differences in my opinion. It still looks good, that poster. I've got to admit, you know, the poster I've got up at the side there. Yeah, I still think that poster looks good, by the way, but I don't think it's an actual official poster. I just found it on Google. I think it's a concept poster. So, you know, same difference. By the way, so have you heard that bike outside there? Because I should say now, let's get into some house-cleaning items already. A couple of things to say off the bat with this live stream. First of all, I've done all these live streams. I've basically once or twice, or maybe even 3 times a week. It's actually been 3 times. This is the 3rd time this week I'm doing this. Once or twice, or even 3 times a week. Sometimes I talk about current movie and TV news, or something that's kind of like movie or trivia, movie or TV trivia that's kind of going on in the world right now. So my last live stream, I talked about the significance of the Duel of Fate and started with One of the Phantom Menace. I also talked about what did I talk about earlier on this week? I talked about Space Jam. I'm pretty sure it's not too long ago. I talked about my anticipation from that. I talked about where does Marvel go after Loki and so on and so on and so on. You get my point. That's what I talk about in these live streams. And so, if you want me to talk about anything in particular in my next live stream, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream or the live stream after that. Also, if you want any live questions answered during this live stream, please let me know in the live chat. And at the same time, though, like I said before, if you're watching some playback and you want me to talk about anything in particular in my next live stream, please do let me know in the comment section below. Also, I should say I live in the countryside and I have bad hay fever at the moment. So if for any reason I sneeze during this live stream, I do apologise. Also, at the same time, I also seem to live next to a main road, and so there's motorbikes, tractors, and trucks going up and down that main road all throughout the day. To be honest, so if you do hear a motorbike of some sort or a tractor or a truck interfering with the sound of this video, I do apologise. I also seem to live next to a building site. Like there's people always doing work on the houses next to me. I mean, they're really nice. People got nothing against them, but they're always doing work in the houses. So if at any point you do hear a drill going on in the background, I do apologise because I basically live next to a building site. I'm gonna touch my curtain there so you can see me a bit better, so I don't have so much light on me. That's alright. But anyway, yes, you get my point. I kind of live next to a building site. And it gets so noisy sometimes, so I do apologise if for any reason the road, the motorbikes or trucks and cars and whatnot, or the drill from next door interferes with the sound on these live streams. But without further ado, let's get into my live stream topic for today. So like I said, it's going to be a short live stream because I've got quite a few things to do. And like I said before, I'm going watching the new M. Night Shyamalan film Old later on today in the cinema, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to. It looks kind of interesting. Looks different than the other films I've seen at the moment. It's with like Cruella and what did I see recently? You know, Space Jam: A New Legacy. I mean, I hope it's better than Space Jam: A New Legacy. Not gonna lie. And by the way, I didn't hate Space Jam: A New Legacy, but man, that film could have been better. But anyway, let's get on to my topic today. My main topic today, my only topic today, is my thoughts on the new trailer for Dune, which was released yesterday. Actually, the trailer was released not too long after I finished my live stream yesterday as well. And by the way, yesterday, it was a heat wave going on in the UK where I was when I was doing my live stream. So I was absolutely boiling. And oh my god, it got to my head so much. But luckily, it seems today we don't really have a heat wave anymore. Actually, it's quite cool today outside. So I was really liking that. And even though it's a bit hot in this room, I'm still sweating because, you know, it gets quite humid in this room. I've actually got the hottest room in my house, which is annoying. But even though it's still hot in this room, it's not as hot as it was yesterday. Oh my god, I hate the heat. And finally, the heat wave is over. So I'm feeling a bit better today, but I'm still not feeling 100%. I've got an earache right now. And, you know, it sounds like I'm making 100 million excuses right now, but honestly, it gets quite annoying sometimes when I wake up, there always seems to be something wrong with me. But anyway, without further ado, like I said before, I'm finally going to get into my main topic today, my thoughts on the new trailer for Dune. So without further ado, let's get into the main topic today. So yesterday we had the release the trailer released for the the new Dune movie coming out. I think it's October this year. It might be wrong. There might be November. Fingers crossed, it still does come out, by the way. But anyway, well, this year anyway. But anyway, yeah, I really liked the first trailer released for this film. I mean, it was released not too long ago. Actually, no, it was released over a year ago now, because Dune was actually meant to come out in 2020, but then obviously the pandemic came around, then obviously loads of films got pushed back. So this became a victim of the pandemic, and also in another way as well, it became the victim of the whole HBO Max of the whole HBO Max scheme, which I'm going to talk about a bit later in this live stream as well. But yeah, my point, it became a bit of a victim of COVID. However, the film is coming out now. Fingers crossed it still does this year. Fingers crossed we do get to see Dune by the end of this year. Hopefully we do, because I'm quite excited to see it. And the reason I'm so excited to see it is because of a couple of reasons. First of all, the cast. If you don't know the cast of the film, I'll be talking about it later, but oh my god, the cast of the film is absolutely incredible. The director, Denis Villeneuve, I might pronounce his name wrong, apologize if I am. He's an absolutely incredible director. I've been watching some of his films recently, they're absolutely incredible. And at the same time, though, I really like the first trailer. Now let's talk about that last thing a sec. The fact that I really like the first trailer for this film. Now, like I said, the first trailer was released back in 2020 now, and it wasn't everyone's cup of tea. I personally loved the first trailer for this film, and it had the Pink Floyd song going in the background. What's it? Oh, was it Brain Damage? I think it's Brain Damage by Pink Floyd going in the background. It's like a big orchestral version of that song going in the background of the first trailer, and I absolutely loved it. However, not everyone else did love that first trailer for this movie. Dude, not everyone loved it. And the funny thing was, I'm someone who doesn't know the source material, so I was watching that trailer for the first time and just thinking, wow, the visuals are incredible, and this all looks like just one big, Lord of the Rings sci-fi epic, and that's why I like the look of it so much. And so naturally, with that first trailer, which I absolutely loved, by the way, not everyone did, and that's fine, everything's subjective and everything like that, but I absolutely loved the first trailer of the film, so with that first trailer, I got very excited for this movie. However, with it being delayed, it got quite annoying, and I was wondering when we're going to get some new footage released for this film. Well, that wait finally ended yesterday, and finally we got a new trailer for this film, and oh my god, the new trailer, in my opinion, looks incredible. It really does. Now, I should reiterate here, I have no connection to the source material. I know there's a lot of people out there, pardon me, I know there's a lot of people out there who have read the Dune books and everything. I've never read them. And to be honest, I'm not going to definitely before I see the movie, because sometimes, and I've spoken about this with my friends a bit, sometimes when you read a book before you see the movie, then it might ruin you might ruin your opinion on that movie, because when you're reading the book and everything, you're imagining all these scenes in your head and these fantastical moments and everything, and then when you watch the movie, it's not the same vision you had in your head. So I'm not going to read the Dune book before I see the film, because I don't want that to happen, and that's kind of one of the reasons I don't actually want to read any of the Hobbit books or any of the Lord of the Rings books. Actually, there's only one Hobbit book, but you get my point. That's one of the reasons I don't even want to read the Hobbit or Lord of the Rings books, because I've seen Peter Jackson's visions for those films. I love his visions for the the Middle Earth films, and I don't need to see, I don't need to have my own vision of films anymore, because I've seen it already, and that's why I don't really want to read the Dune books, because I want to see Denis Villeneuve's vision, the director's vision, before I have my own vision, if you get what I mean there. Hopefully you get what I mean there. I'll try to explain it as best as possible. But anyway, yeah, I'm someone who doesn't know the source material, so I should point that out now. And if you do, you might have some differentiating opinions on the trailer. But personally, I absolutely loved this trailer. I really did. I was absolutely brilliant, and it's honestly, it's one of the best trailers I've seen for a long time. I mean, a couple of days ago now, I haven't actually mentioned this to the channel, but a couple of days ago now, I saw the new trailer for the new Ridley Scott film, The Last Duel, which is starring Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and written by them too as well. And it's also starring Adam Driver, Kylo Ren himself, and Villanelle herself from Killing Eve. Jodie Comer has got to be in a Ridley Scott epic, by the way. And by the way, if you haven't checked out the trailer for The Last Duel, it's absolutely brilliant as well. But honestly, that was released a couple of days ago now, this week. Dune, the new trailer for Dune is the best trailer this week. Honestly, it really is. It's absolutely incredible. What really got me with this trailer was the visuals. I mean, Denis Villeneuve, he's acted such films like Prisoners, Arrival, Blade Runner 2049. He's also done a film called Enemy, which he did with Jake Gyllenhaal. I haven't seen that film, by the way, but I have seen Prisoners, I have seen Arrival, and I have seen Blade Runner 2049. Now, I must admit, I'm not the biggest fan of Arrival. It just didn't work for me personally. It just didn't work for me personally. I mean, I'll go back and revisit, but when I saw it initially, I wasn't the biggest fan of Arrival. The film site's got Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner in it. I wasn't the biggest fan of that film, but visually, it was a stunning film to watch, and I was a huge fan of Prisoners. Even so, I kind of guessed where the plot was going to Prisoners. By the way, Prisoners is on Netflix, by the way, and I highly recommend it. But even so, I kind of guessed where the plot was going with Prisoners, and I kind of guessed what was going on. It was still a fascinating film to watch, not only visually, but just the way things unfold and the way it was written. And from what I can remember, I really liked Blade Runner 2049. I mean, I must admit, I have no personal connection to the Blade Runner franchise, so I never thought like Blade Runner 2049 ruined the first Blade Runner, which a lot of people did. But personally, for me, I watched Blade Runner 2049 and I enjoyed it, and I thought it was visually spectacular. So naturally, I was expecting that spectacle for this film because it's done by the same director, Denis Villeneuve. I might pronounce his name well, apologize if I am. But the thing is, though, I just watched the trailer for this, what am I on about? I just watched the trailer for this film, and honestly, just the visuals in the trailer were absolutely stunning. Just seeing these amazing visuals, just seeing this epic landscape, the epic sand landscape, should I say, these epic sand landscapes, and just seeing all these amazing costume designs and all these fantastic actors, and it just looked absolutely spectacular. And it just looked absolutely spectacular. I can't even speak today. It just looked absolutely spectacular. Whether the film, whether the script for the film is good or not, the visuals just in the trailer alone looked incredible. Honestly, this looks like it's going to be a film shot from someone who loves the books. It's shot from someone who, loves this world that's already been created in the books, and hopefully is going to be revisioned in the best way possible in this film. Now, I should have point out here as well that David Lynch tried to do this, by the way. I can't remember what was that. Was it back in the 70s? I don't know. I don't really follow David Lynch's work that much. I must admit, I'm not the biggest fan of David Lynch. I've seen Mulholland Drive, and it just wasn't my sort of thing. Maybe I'll go and look back at some of his other work as well. But I wasn't the biggest fan of Mulholland Drive. I thought it was quite pretentious and everything, and I don't know, it was unnecessarily weird. That's what I felt about Mulholland Drive. But maybe I'll go back and revisit it, maybe I'll like it more. But the thing is, though, I'm not the biggest fan of David Lynch, and I know he tried to make this film quite a while ago now, and apparently it's absolutely pants. And I know a lot of people nowadays are going, well, David Lynch can make Dune. No one else can. Honestly, I think if anyone else can make Dune, I think it's Denis Villeneuve, who's directed this new one. And that's why it's got me so excited for it, because there's the vision that you just see in the trailer alone. And we're talking about, what, a 2.5-minute trailer. The film's going to be about 3 hours, it will be, because Denis Villeneuve makes long films. Blade Runner 2049 is almost 3 hours. Prisoners is 2.5 hours, and The Rival is 2.5 hours as well. He makes long films, so this film's going to be about 3 hours long. And you just know from the trailer that it's going to be visually spectacular. And regardless of what the script's going to be like, if the script's rubbish, at least the visual's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I don't think the script will be rubbish, by the way. But it's just saying, if the script is rubbish, the visuals look incredible. Honestly, they really do. And on that topic of the look of, Dune, of the new Dune film, oh my god, it looks absolutely incredible, because it doesn't look like something that takes place on Earth. It doesn't look like set pieces. It just looks like this big, incredible world. Like I feel about Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit films. Whenever I sit down to watch The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings, I always feel like I'm getting sucked into Middle Earth. I don't feel like I'm watching New Zealand. I don't feel like I'm watching, some of the set pieces which they constructed, the amazing set pieces which they constructed for the Marvel films. But I don't feel like I'm watching set pieces. I don't feel like I'm watching things that are being made in a studio. Like I sometimes do with the MCU films, must admit. Sometimes I watch an MCU film, I'm like, yep, that's just clearly CGI and you shot that in a studio. But I never feel like that with Lord of the Rings films, which, by the way, came before the MCU films, can we point that out? And that's why I love the Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit films so much, because they immerse you into that world of Middle Earth. And honestly, just from the trailer for Dune, I was immersed into this world that Dune had created. And I don't really know the world. Like I didn't really know the world of Lord of the Rings. I didn't really know Middle Earth. And I don't really know this new world that's, being created for Dune. But honestly, it just looks incredible. I want to go to that world now. I can't wait to see this movie in the cinema, because I know for however long the film is, and by the way, like I said before, I think it's about like a 3-hour long film, but however long the film is, I'm going to be sucked into that world for so long. I'm just so excited to be. We even heard a bit of Hans Zimmer's score there in the background. And by the way, Hans Zimmer actually didn't work with Christopher Nolan on Tenet because he was working on the score for this film. So you can even tell there the amount of work Denis Villeneuve wanted on the score for this film. He wants the score to be perfect. He wants this film to be the Dune film everyone wants, because I know there's a lot of people who've read the Dune books out there that really want this film to be perfect. And honestly, you can really tell from the effort Denis Villeneuve has put into the visuals, and just the costume design looks incredible, which I'm going to go into a bit later in this review as well. Well, not review actually, it's a live stream, but you get my point. I'm going to go into a bit later in the live stream as well. But the thing is, as though it just looks absolutely incredible. It doesn't look like anything that takes place on Earth in the best way possible. It looks like its own thing. It looks like it's going to be like Lord of the Rings-esque, where it immerses you into this world for about 2 hours and a half or to 3 hours. Like I said, I think it's going to be 3 hours. And honestly, I'm so excited I'm so excited to go and watch that movie and just be immersed into this world. And honestly, just the Hans Zimmer score as well. Like, just the fact that he didn't work on Tenet because he wanted to work on this score just gets him so much more excited. You hear a bit of that Hans Zimmer score, which is pulsating. I'm not even the biggest fan of Hans Zimmer, by the way. You know, I think Hans Zimmer scores don't actually work well when they're not placed with a film. I think his scores work really well with films, but then if you take his scores out of a film and you just into the theme in itself, with the exception of Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'd say with the exception of Inception as well, I don't think many of his scores really work well on themselves, to be honest. That's just my opinion on Hans Zimmer. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but saying that though, I was really enjoying the Hans Zimmer score we heard in the trailer for this film. I really did. And honestly, it just looks absolutely brilliant. Let's talk about the cast for a sec as well, which is one of the other reasons I'm so excited for this film. So if you bear with me a sec, I'm just going to jump onto Google. Jumping out to Google. Hello, I've got one person watching, by the way. Hello! But anyway, yes, let's jump onto the cast for a sec. So we have Zendaya in this film. By the way, she's become like a rising star. She started her career, there it is, by the way. I would zoom out if I could, but these are character posters, by the way. We have Zendaya, which many people might know as MJ from the MCU Spider-Man movies. And she started her career off in the Disney Channel, by the way, and now her career has gone from like Spider-Man, Greatest Showman, and now Denis Villeneuve's Dune. But anyway, that's just kind of incredible. There's Zendaya in this film. We have Josh Brolin, you know, Thanos himself, who's looking very stern. Ooh, look at him. Ooh, he also played Cable in Deadpool 2, by the way, if you recognise him there. Then we also have Javier Bardem, which I'm very excited to see in this film, because he wasn't really in the trailer, but he's got his own character post. So there's Rebecca Ferguson, which many people might know from The Greatest Showman as well. She was also in the Mission Impossible films, the latest ones. She was in Rogue Nation, and what's the other one recently? Fallout, she's been in them. Let's see what else we got on the character posters. Bear with me a sec. There's Oscar Isaac, Poe Dameron himself, in the most recent Star Wars movies, who looks very good in the movie, by the way. He looks like the grown-up version of Poe Dameron. He looks like, honestly, you see some of the images from Oscar Isaac in this new Dune movie. It looks like the same guy who played Poe Dameron in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker is now grown up and like Dune's the adult version of Star Wars. I mean, it just looks fantastic in that way. There's Timothée Chalamet, there we are. That's where I would pronounce his name, because honestly, you know, he's a good actor and everything, but I think people love him a bit too much, not gonna lie. But he looks great in this new movie. There's Timothée Chalamet. He looks like he's gonna be the main star of the new movie. Is there any more down here? Ooh, we have Aquaman himself, Jason Momoa. There we are. Look, Jason Momoa looks like he's having a lot of fun in this new trailer. I'm very excited to see the way Jason Momoa is using this film. Got anyone else here? Stellan Skarsgård, who looks absolutely nothing like Stellan Skarsgård. Honestly, I watched Stellan Skarsgård, funnily enough, in Mamma Mia not too long ago, in which he plays one of the, supposedly one of, what's her name? Oh, Amanda Seyfried's dads in the film. And honestly, it's a bit weird seeing him a very different role. He looks completely different than he usually does, by the way, anymore. Well, there's a huge cast as well. I'm going to quickly go through the cast. Got back to OBS Studio, just give me a sec. But yeah, the cast is huge. So we have people like Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Ferguson, Timothée Chalamet. We also have, you know, Zendaya. We have Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin. We also have Dave Bautista in there, which people might know as Drax from the Guardians of the Galaxy films. He's making his way up in Hollywood in the best way possible. He looks like he's the villain in the new film. He looks incredible. Stellan Skarsgård. We also have, don't think of them on my head right now. Can't think of it right now. Huge cast. I can't think of the other names right now. It's kind of annoying that, but the cast of this film is absolutely incredible. Honestly, it really is. I was just looking at the cast. Oscar Isaac isn't one I haven't mentioned. Honestly, the cast within itself just looks incredible, and the fact that they got that amount of actors to be in this film gets me even more excited, because, you know, these are high class actors, like people like Josh Brolin, who did like amazing films and everything, and people like Javier Bardem, who's done incredible films as well. And by the way, many people might know Javier Bardem as the villain of Skyfall, and he's actually in this film as well. But anyway, yeah, it's just things like that. The cast got me so excited, and honestly, just it looks like a sci-fi Lord of the Rings, and that's why I'm so excited for it, because I love the Lord of the Rings films. I didn't used to, but about 5 years ago now, I rewatched those films, and they're absolutely incredible, and they felt you got so immersed in that world, and honestly, it looks like a sci-fi Lord of the Rings film in the best way possible. It looks like you're going to be sucked into that world. It looks like Denis Villeneuve's direction is incredible. It looks like the visuals are incredible. It looks like the cast is incredible. It looks like the score is going to be incredible. It looks just amazing in my opinion. If you haven't checked out the new trailer for Dune, I can't recommend it enough. It's the best trailer I've seen in a very long time. Definitely the best trailer this week. I did like Willie Scott's trailer for The Last Duel, but still, the trailer for Dune looks absolutely incredible. I'm very excited for this film. Fingers crossed it's good, fingers crossed it works, and fingers crossed it's the film everyone wants it to be. Personally, I'm very excited for it, and that's coming from someone who hasn't read the source material. And hopefully, it's the film everyone wants it to be. And one last thing, one last note I'm going to leave this on, is fingers crossed this film also gets a sequel. Now, the reason I was talking about the fact that this film has already become a victim of COVID early on in this live stream is because basically, not only did this film get delayed, but it's also become a part of the HBO Max scheme. Now, if you don't know what the HBO Max scheme is, by the way, basically all these movies like Godzilla vs. Kong, In the Heights, the new Matrix film, it's got all of these new Warner Bros. Films, Space Jam: A New Legacy, and this film have all become a victim of the HBO Max scheme. And basically, what happened was, all the people at Warner Bros. And Warner Media said, we're going to do all these simultaneous releases on these films and not tell the film director. So you had people like Christopher Nolan, who, primarily worked for Warner Bros., coming out and saying, I learned about my films potentially going to HBO Max in the future simultaneously with cinema releases. So they are still going to get a cinema release, but it may not get the same box office because they're simultaneously releasing with HBO Max. So Christopher Nolan came out, like I said before, primarily worked for Warner Bros. And came out and said, I don't want my film simultaneously releasing and affecting my box office. If you watch Christopher Nolan film, they have spectacular visuals. Christopher Nolan films are meant to be seen in the cinema, first of all, maybe watched on VOD or whatever, DVD after. But Christopher Nolan films, in my opinion, are made for the cinema. And honestly, Denis Villeneuve, the director of the film, actually wrote an article for Variety about how, with the whole HBO Max scheme, they, that's potentially ruined a chance of getting a Dune sequel because, let's just reiterate, the film is releasing simultaneously. Yes, it is released in the cinemas, but people also have the option to watch this film on HBO Max. Now, I completely understand that. I don't disagree with the whole idea. Simultaneous releasing in the end is the future. Disney Plus are doing it now, and whether they continue is a different matter. But they are doing it now. They did it, Mulan, When the Last Dragon, Cruella, and they did it with Black Widow recently. But the thing is, though, what really surprised me about the HBO Max stuff is the fact that the people who made that decision to do the whole simultaneous release thing on HBO Max with all these Warner Bros. Films that could yet to come out, like The Matrix 4 and Space Jam: A New Legacy, and all these movies that were meant to come out a while ago, and obviously some of them have by now. But you get my point. What surprised me so much about this whole HBO Max simultaneous release thing is the fact that the people who made the decision didn't tell the filmmakers, and didn't tell Legendary Studios, by the way. Legendary Studios, can we point out, who have, produced in the past Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit films, went on to produce so many other big fantastic epics as well. They also produced Godzilla vs. Kong, and at the same time, though, they're also producing Dune as well. You can imagine how angry Legendary Pictures were. Honestly, there's all these stories about when the HBO Max scheme was announced and how these filmmakers and Legendary Pictures got angry and everything. Because Legendary Pictures in the end make these big epics. Godzilla vs. Kong is a big epic. Dune in the end is a big epic. And imagine the amount of money spent on the films, and then imagine not getting the box office back. Imagine not getting them, not getting the money back that they put into the film because it's going to HBO Max in the end. And by the way, when it does go to HBO Max, you don't actually have to pay for it if you have HBO Max. We don't actually have HBO Max in the UK right now. We'd have to get it via VOD or streaming or something like that. But the thing is, though, for all these Americans who do have HBO Max, when doing simultaneous releases on HBO Max, they don't have to pay for it. I just feel that's kind of like Warner Brothers being a bit like being a bit like what's the word, like a thief in the night. Honestly, just going behind the filmmakers' backs. Filmmakers who spent years and years developing these films, and in the end just going, actually, we're going to do simultaneous release because you know what, we can. Because we're Warner Brothers. Well, I can tell you now, Denis Villeneuve, like I said, the director of this film, is not happy about that. He wrote this article on Variety, which he was very not happy about. Which he talked about how he was really not happy with the decision on the HBO Max simultaneous release thing. But in the end, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, because this film is still getting its cinema release. Fingers crossed, it still makes this money. Fingers crossed, we do do get a Dune sequel, and we do get this full story in the best way possible. And you know, fingers crossed, it becomes like Lord of the Rings, which just becomes this incredible epic that people just immerse themselves in. And honestly, I can't wait to see it. And fingers crossed, it does get the box office that hopefully it deserves. And so personally, I'm a huge fan of the new trailer for Dune. I went into it in full detail there. I talked about all the stuff that's regarding this movie as well. I even went into the character posters a bit. But that's my opinion on the Dune trailer. I really like it. Go and check it out. It's online right now. In fact, I absolutely love it. Do go and check it out because it's one of the best trailers I've seen yet this year. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. That's my end of my live stream today. I'm going to round things up now because I actually get off pretty soon. So, thank you for watching. And if you haven't yet, please do click down below and subscribe on the video. And look forward to many more, both film and TV reviews, come very soon on this channel. And I should also say, by the way, as well, by the way, I've just noticed my streaming is cutting in and out. I do apologise if for any reason my stream cut in and out there at some point in this live stream. I don't know what was going on there, but my computer's not the best. But I do apologise if the stream cut out at any point in this live stream, and I didn't actually realise that. But anyway, guys, thank you as always for watching, and see you guys again soon. And that's one way around. Thank you as always for watching, and remember, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please do let me know in the comment section below, and hopefully I'll talk about that in my next live stream. But until then, guys, thanks for watching, and see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Bye. Gotta go out that time. Bye. Actually, gotta end the stream. Bye.